G'day all, welcome back to the channel, and we're continuing on with the ZOHD Dart XL rebuild. I bought an unassembled kit from the Black Friday sales, and on the last video we pieced that all together, so if you've missed that, go and check that video out. Now it's time to refit all the electronics in it and take it out for a flight. So these are the equipment that's going in it. Motor's already installed, but we've got a Hobby Wing Skywalker 50 amp ESC. It's running a Maiden F7.1.2 wing flight controller. Got the Happy Model ES900 receiver, running Express LRS, buzzer there, and an airspeed sensor. So let's get on with this build. Might just start with the heart of it and do the flight controller first, and go out from there. I've got to work out where the pins and all that are, so I'll have to bring up the F7.2.2 wing board diagram so I know where everything actually goes again. So the motor we've got in it, which I installed in the last video, this is a Sunny Sky 1250 kV. There's a replacement to the original motor that came on this. It failed, so this one's been excellent so far, and it improved the efficiency of the plane too over the stock one when that was running well. So this is a good upgrade if you've got one of these planes, a Sunny Sky 1250 kV. So the flight controller is going to sit in here like this, pretty much how it did before. Not many other options I can really do here unless I rewire everything, and I don't really want to do that. The thing that annoys me, these pins along here, they're in the way of the screws when you're trying to undo the wings, so it kind of makes it hard to take the wings off once you've got the flight controller in this position. So I've got a bit of 4mm foam I'm hot gluing down here so the flight controller can sit on that for a bit of vibration dampening. We've got our BN220 GPS up here. That's ready to be wired back in. Alright, so what's left? We've got our buzzer still to go in, and we've got our analog airspeed sensor. That's a Maiden analog airspeed sensor. The VTX has its own cable. We could temporarily fit the analog system in it temporarily till the Walksnail system comes. So this cable here is a temporary cable only put in to test the VTX that was on there, the Alpha 10. So I think what I might do now is go onto the Matex site and just have a look at the wiring where everything plugs in, and we'll plug everything in temporarily, make sure it all works, and then we'll glue the final two pieces in, the buzzer and the airspeed sensor. Alright, so we're going to log into iNav and hook this up. And we're going to go across into the ports tab. So receivers on UART2, GPS is on UART3, and then it doesn't really matter for the others at this stage, so they're the main ones. So over onto the Maiden website, and we go into the wiring diagram for the F7.2.2 wing flight controller, and you can see here is our UART2 for our receiver that will go into this UART port here. And our GPS is in UART3, which is right there. White one is a TX, so that one will go in next, I believe, into the RX. And the last one being the RX on the GPS goes to the TX on the flight controller. Okay, ESC will plug into S8. Our servo's connected up to serial 1 and serial 2. The motor is connected into S8 right there. We've done our GPS, that's going into UART3 right there. Analog airspeed sensor is going into this signal port just there. Buzzer is going right next to it there. And our receiver for Crossfire is going into UART2, which is just down there. I'm just going to hook all that up, and then we'll come back and do some testing on it. So I'm going to upgrade the receiver to another Happy model. This is going to be the dual diversity receiver. Same 915 megahertz receiver, Nothing wrong with the previous one that was in there. It's just I had this one handy at the time, so I thought I might as well fit this instead, and we'll be able to see how this one goes. So it needs to be bound and have Express LRS installed on it. The firmware needed for this in the Express LRS configurator is the Happy Model ES900 Dual RX. So now that the firmware is installed and bound to the transmitter, we'll check that our servos are moving in the correct direction. When I'm gaining altitude, both ailerons are going up. When I'm descending, both ailerons are going down. Banking right, the right aileron goes up. Banking left, the left aileron goes up. So we're all good. Pretty much everything in there now, except, well, we've still got to do the airspeed sensor, but I'm not too worried about that either at the moment. Just wanted to make sure I got everything going. Ailerons are running the right way, and everything's back to how it was before we pulled it all apart. All I've got to do now is wait for another camera to come. So I'm going to look at putting the Avatar GT in this one for a bit of high definition, but we might not have it in for the maiden or the re-maiden of this. I may even go back into this canopy on the old one here and just do the re-maiden with the Alpha 10 analog. And use a bit of this footage again on here. It's get a bit of jello out of this the way it's set up, but at least I'll be able to get it remaidened and make sure everything's back at 100% before we put a $300 high definition camera in it. So total payload weight as it was previously, minus the hot glue, I guess, we're looking at 856 grams now. Obviously this weight's going to go down once I remove the Alpha 10. That's a heavy unit up there. So that's a canopy with the Alpha 10 VTX in it. It's quite a heavy unit because it's also carrying the RunCam hybrid on top too. Looking at 107 grams. So quite a heavy unit there. 856 grams. Well, it's lost about 20 grams by the look of that. So I'm just going to do some finishing touches up on the plane here, gluing the rest of the equipment on. And I'll just do a bit of off-camera work on iNav just to make sure everything's set up correctly as well. And then we'll head out to the field and do the re-maiden for this. So we're out in the flying field here. I don't know if you can see out there, some little baby kangaroos or wallabies out in the field. But we're out here for the re-maiden of the ZOHD Dart XL. It's only going to be a short flight just to make sure everything's okay with the plane, everything's operating properly. I'm just waiting for satellites. But yeah, there is a bit of wind at the moment. A little bit more than I would have liked, but it's not too bad. So yeah, it's pretty slow getting satellites. I just had a look at the KP reading. It's actually higher than what I had realised. We're sitting up at 5, I think it is, 5 KP. So there must be a bit of solar activity around at the moment. Just making it a bit longer to get satellite lock. Alright, so it's taken some time to get 7 satellites, but I believe that's enough for us to get in the air. Bit of a strong headwind I'll be throwing into here. Fingers crossed for the re-maiden of the ZOHD Dart XL. Quite a steep climb. Yeah, pretty much a faultless launch. Come through for a nice little flyby here. Into the headwind. Half throttle. About 10 amps. It's a bit over half throttle actually, it's 10 amps. About 9 amps, half throttle.
2 minutes.
Definitely getting bumped around a bit out there. It is quite a windy day, a windy afternoon. I've had quite a bit of wind, quite a lot of wind over the past.
Altitude hold. Cruise.
Just get it blowing around a bit.
Altitude hold.
And what we'll do, we'll bring it down. Not going to go up too much higher. I just wanted to make sure this plane was good to go, and it is. Let's keep it down a bit lower because it's quite buffery up there. I don't plan to do any auto tune on this today as it's too windy for that. I'll wait for a more calm day for that one. But I'll take note of what the onboard footage tells me, and when I get back home we'll make some adjustments to the PIF controller and a few other adjustments. Maybe one on the auto launch was quite steep. And kangaroos are used to the planes. They didn't even flinch. Alright, we might bring it in, I think, now.
Five minutes.
Lovely landing.
Disarmed.
So that's your maiden there for the ZOHD Dart XL. Successful. This has been a great plane always. That's why I thought it deserves a rebuild and a renew on life from its old frame. It is a good cruiser. It's not a speed plane or anything like that. So if you're getting one of these, it's not a rocket. I mean, this will do between 90 to 100k an hour, which is more than enough, but it's, in my opinion, it's more built for long range. It's a long range cruiser, but everything seems good. I'm also making my own batteries now, so I'll do a video on one of these, how I built that. This is a 4S2P 8400 milliamp, so I should still get some pretty good flight times out of that. But other than that, that's the ZOHD Dart XL, a remaiden of the rebuilt ZOHD Dart, which I've had now for probably close to 5 years, I guess. Anyone looking at building one of these, if you like any hints and tips from it, from me, just hit me up in the comments. I'll be happy to answer whatever questions I can. Until then, we'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye for now.